A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space. Why you keep trying to attach yourself to a continent where even if you got the chance to go and you went, most people that wouldn't even claim you as one of them, as a purebred daughter or son of them. Your heritage is right here now, no matter what you call yourself or what you say. And a lot of people died to make it that way.
Miss Sadie Green, she said,
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Tony, Furlough, Canary Bread, Tom Jones, Marcus, Red Squid. Hey now, what's good, y'all? And everybody watching, smash the like button. What's good? Oh, I haven't been on for a few days, just relaxing. But every day this week, I will be on to promote this great debate. I don't know who's gonna win. I truly don't. I don't know who's gonna win. Who y'all think gonna win? It's gonna be a hot mess. This is gonna be uncut. It's gonna be held in Zoom Friday, the 10th at 6 o'clock Eastern, and that would be 5 o'clock Central and 3 o'clock Pacific. And it's going to be in Zoom. The Zoom could hold 5,000 people. So if you want to make sure that you get into this debate, you need to cash at me $10. Brother Sanchez does not monetize, and neither does Chief Holiday. These funds are not for me. They will be divided between the two individuals. They're going to give us a great show in Zoom because in Zoom it's uncut. If they, we need to have a debate where StreamYard and Zoom or YouTube is not going to censor these brothers when they lecture. I am not going to be biased at all. I love both of these brothers, but I really want to know if fossilized or decomposed bones are credible beyond 11,500 years. Brother Sanchez objects to Chief Holiday's theory. So we're going to see. We're going to see from Chief Holiday's perspective. We're going to see from Brother Sanchez's perspective. And there'll be other topics that they will be debating in that particular Zoom. This Zoom is going to be uncut. So whatever goes down, goes down. It's not going to be, but my PayPal account, I cannot, unfortunately, because that's connected to our tribal corporate account. But if you know someone that can send you $10 through Cash App and you give them the money, that's it. These funds cannot touch my tribal corporate account. So unfortunately, I can't give my PayPal account, Tom Jones. But the Cash App, if you can get someone to send, if you send someone $10, but when you send the $10, you have to make sure that you leave your email address, because when you leave your email address, we're going to be able to send you the link to get in Zoom. And this is only $10. Okay. Brother Sanchez has thousands of people that watch him, and Chief Holiday has a nice audience as well as my channel. So we can definitely hope up to 5,000 people in our Zoom. So it's going to be great. People are going to have a chance to ask questions at the end of the debate. You're going to be able to vote right in there in the Zoom, and your votes will determine who won the debate. Close PayPal after they threatened to charge accounts, 2,500 for posting what they determine a miss. I don't know. I'm sorry, sweetheart. But if you send the $10, you will get the link. You should start receiving the links by Wednesday. And to make sure that you get the link in case you lose it between Wednesday and Friday, I will send out the link the morning of the show to make sure you have it. And when you come in, you will have to identify your email address so we could cross it off the list, because nobody's going to be able to get in if they don't pay the measly $10. They don't monetize. They're going to give us a great show. And, we just want to be fair. We want to be fair. Um, it's going to be something else. I'm sure he's going to get into flat Earth and other topics in there, which they probably will agree to disagree on, but we'll see. Brother Sanchez will be able to pick 3 of his favorite audiences to critique his portion of the debate, and also they'll be able to critique Chief Holidays. The 3 people he'll be able to pick, and Chief Holiday will be able to pick 3 people who he feels strongly that can critique his debate and critique Brother Sanchez part of the debate. See who brought this, or who was stronger here, or who was weaker there. So it's going to be great. So on this day, I ask, whatever you do for recreational purposes, get your groove on. We'll be privately and Zoom, so you can drink your wine, your smoke, whatever. And I think it's going to be really great. I'm looking so forward to it because I'm actually moderating it, and we're not going to have any foolishness. I'm going to be fair and not biased. I'm going to make sure that they don't interrupt each other. I'll make sure that there's silence while one is dropping his juice and silence, and the other has to listen no matter how much he disagrees. And then I'll unmute the other person and let him get his lecturing part on, because we really want to make sure that the audience gets a really, really, get some really great feedback from both sides, so you can determine whose information is more credible. So I'm looking so forward to this. So forward. I'm waiting on Empress Holbert to pop in, because I'm going to be promoting this all week, and I will keep the layout up. But I wanted to get into Empress Holbert sent me an email, and she sent me an email about the American Genocide and of the American Indians. And I want to read it to the audience. It's quite crazy. And I will be able to put the case law together. It's so much going on in the community between the Pan-Africans. I don't have time for them. At this point, they're just a hopeless group of people, and they don't know what they're doing, and it's shameful. It's very sad. Very sad. Very, very sad. You know? And I don't know what the hell. I don't know. You could tell these dudes shit to their blue in the goddamn face. I sat and watched the segments. I relaxed all weekend just watching segments, and I can't begin to tell you the bullshit, about our history. And our community is terribly divided. As far as our identity as a people, it's terrible. It's shameful. And, at some point, you have to begin to wonder if these people promoting this Pan-Africanism shit are truly agents, boules, that group, that boule group. And I, my thing is, I won't even fucking argue with him no more. It's not worth it. This federal government has too much information on my family for me to ever believe that my family came from Africa. Nobody ever talked about coming from Africa. The only time in my history has a talk of coming from Africa is when that movie Roots came out. If you were born in the 70s. There was no talk of anybody coming from no fucking Africa. None. Until that movie came out. And that movie came out. Let me just Google that shit. Let's see. 1977. Really? 1977 is when the movie Roots came out. I remember that shit. I was 10 years old when that damn movie came out. 11. I was 11 years old and I remember watching it. And nobody was comfortable with it. It was a crock of shit. That's the only time in history of a slave story. The only time. No other time in the history of the Americas did they talk about bringing Negroes from Africa was until Roots came out. Prior to that, there was only white slave trade. And they actually have the fucking records for white slavery. They have it. Hey, welcome, Tony. There's no other time in history. And I'm tired, personally, of it. I don't even argue with them. It's not worth it. Sometimes I think they do it to get content creation, to keep controversy. They're not getting reparations. They're not getting a damn thing. So they can forget it. They're not getting reparations. Nothing. And the sad thing is now I'm just like appalled. And it's sad. Our people don't understand that they have a right as individual. You do not have to be in an Indian tribe to deal directly with the federal government. You can deal with the federal government on an individual basis. And that's a fact. You do not have to be in a group. That's in law, written in law. You can come and deal with the federal government as an individual Indian. Because that's how they came to the North, as individual Indians being pushed and forced off their lands. They joined the Union. When you hear Union, that means the North. The Union is the North. When you hear the Civil War and you hear the Union, that's the North. Union means North. Confederate is South. Individual Indians pushed and ran to the North to get off of their farmlands for industrialization work. A Confederacy. Does anybody even know what a Confederacy is? Confederacy is agriculture economy. I will. Confederacy is agriculture economy. That was the lifestyle that the Confederate States wanted to keep. The Confederate States allied with the British. Facts. The Creeks, they allied with the British to keep the agriculture economy going. That was our economy in the Confederate States. But I can tell you right now, I was born in the Union. I was born in the Union. I was not born in South Carolina. I was born in the Union State of Connecticut. I was born in the Union State. I was raised. They call the Union States the Yankees. I was raised as a Yankee. I've been culturally accustomed to the Yankee states. I'm a Yankee gal. That's a fact. That's what I turned into culturally. And that's a fact. It's not a lie. So I was born in the industrialization lifestyle, uh, which kind of really hurts me because I didn't, if I was in the Confederate States, I would know a lot more about the soil. I mean, I could have learned it here, but thank God, and thank the ancestors that I have this connection with my brothers and sisters in the South, because my brothers and sisters in the South are very educated on the soil of land and the different plants that naturally grow in the South. Whereas in the North, we worked in industrialization world. So I get to learn a lot about um, fruits and vegetables and the land soil and the planting of fruits and vegetables from my southern brothers and sisters, because that's something that they're accustomed. That's that southern way of life. Yeah. If the Confederate States had won the war, we would be Confederate States of America. As a matter of fact, I think I pulled something up that I want to share with you guys. Hey, Michael, how are you, sweetheart? Yellow Hammer. I want to pull something up. Let me see. I have pulled something up. Okay. I Yep, here it is. Here it goes. I'm gonna share this what I had pulled up earlier. Um, just so you can know. Hey, well, Lily, yeah, how you doing? Y'all smash the like button. Let's go. Share screen. This is what does the meaning of Confederacy? Confederacy. It's a group of people, countries, organizations, etc., joined together for a common purpose or by a common interest. Literally, what does it mean in government? When a group of people or nations form an alliance, it is called a confederation, allowing each member to govern itself, but agreeing to work together for common causes. And that's a fact. Um, Let me see. Um, um, During the Civil War, the Union referred to the northern states as the Confederacy. During the Civil War, the Union referred to the northern states, and the Confederacy referred to the southern states. In general, the Union was more industrialized, anti slavery, and believed in a larger federal government. So, um, so we know when you hear Union, that's mean the northern states. When you hear Confederacy, that's the southern states. And the Union wanted more industrialized, anti slavery, and believed in a larger government. Now, I don't know, because of my freedom. The freedom was very different back during those times. I don't think I would have lasted. I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm so accustomed to an industrialized world and an industrialized way of living and caring for myself, could not personally adapt to a confederacy. It would be very difficult because in it seems to me, in a union way of life, you have more of your freedom. You have more to say. You can do more. But the way they had it set up in the South, it's like it was like very communist, kind of like you were obligated for sometimes life, certain amount of years working on people's plantations. It was all about agriculture. That was their way of life. And I don't think I would have lasted in that shit. I'm serious. If that was to be imposed on me now, I'd be at war. I'd be killing everything that walks in front of me. I'm serious. I'm sorry. I couldn't stand be out. I don't even like being out in the sun like that. I literally would be at war. Any party that came up to me, call itself going to force me into a Confederacy lifestyle and me signing away my life to work on somebody's goddamn plantation. Listen, honey, master will be dead all the way down from the highest person to the lowest person. I ain't planting shit. Only thing I'm a plant is bodies. I'm serious. And that's, I guess, listen, because I'm accustomed to the union lifestyle, only bodies would be planted by me. If I'm brought to the South to work at somebody's goddamn plantation and it ain't mine, master's going in the ground. I'm serious. From the top all the way down. And I will be building a goddamn coalition and an alliance. You better believe my alliance is going to be all the goddamn gangs running around here. Yo, they want us to work on this goddamn farm. I will become the mother of the Crips and Bloods. I'm telling you right now. Yes, I'm a Yankee gal. I'm from the North. We don't play that shit. We are anti-slavery. I will be the mother of the Crips and the Bloods. I'll be all a mother, even though all those gangs don't get along. I'm going to be their mama because we're going to be burying a whole lot of masters. I ain't going for that shit. So call me Yankee Spirit. Call me what you want, but I'm from the North, and I'm not with that shit. Now, to live on my land in the South, that's cool. I could go out and decide if I want to plant a damn plum tree or whatever. Not because some motherfucker say, go out there and plant me a tree. Tell me here up yonder. Oh, you going to die, master. Oh, you going to die. I watched the ID channel for a whole lot of years. I don't know if y'all familiar with the ID channel. Discovery Channel. Investigative Discovery Channel. I don't know if you know about that channel. Give me some fire. They have an episode called Wives with Knives. That would be me in the South. Seriously. And I just can't do it. So I understand why my ancestors flee to the North. I do. I get it. Fuck that. And I know my granny and great granny and great 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 granny, they had all them big old thighs and big butts. And I know their asses wasn't working. I know they wasn't going for that shit. They be tired and hot like me with hot flash. Oh hell no. No, 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 no. I'm a Yankee girl, unfortunately. Fortunately, I'm not. I'm a proud Yankee girl. I'm from the North. And so I have the spirit of a Northern girl. We get up, we go to work, and we come the fuck home. All that shit being out yonder in the field, Master come out in the field fucking with me. Oh, your ass is dying, master. You gonna die right there. Or to just hang my little fat ass on the tree. Masters, that what the census seats are saying. Yeah, that's a fact, Mike. They was the head of households, and that's what these stupid ass Pan-Africans don't get. That the head of the household back then were our parents. Serious. They don't get it. 1860 census sheets. 1850 had head of households working on farms. It was our daddies and mamas. And I don't know why it's so hard for the pan boo-boos to understand this shit. And I'm really, 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 really tired of blaming this shit on white people. For the life of me, this whole you really got to step back, because these pan boo-boos are bowing to some serious bullshit and they can't even see it. If you look at the movies with Big Meech, all these gangster movies, Power, and all these movies with gangsters, okay? New Jack City, the fighting and the killings. I'm fucking sorry. You're not going to Africa to grab no Negroes. They gonna whoop. They no. Mm-mm. You can barely control them in the goddamn prisons. So how the hell you gonna drag them in chains from a whole nother fucking continent? Unwillingly. Get out of here. This is the bullshit. And to me, that's a disservice to white people. I'm serious. That movie Roots really did it to America. That's a whole fucking lying story. Where white guys supposedly grabbed all these Negroes, these strong ass fucking Negroes that wrestle tigers and bears to eat dinner. Because Africa was living off the fucking land. They went out and hunted their meat. So picture a little white guy, okay, Biden coming to get niggas and chains. That shit ain't going down with no nigga that just killed a lion and a bear to make some goddamn bear soup or lion soup or whatever the fuck they eat in Africa. And then in the South, period, point blank, we talk, y'all, list the southern states, please. I'm going to start with one. Let's do this little game. I'm going to start where my family came from. Southern states, South Carolina and North Carolina. I'm putting that in there. Let's go, y'all. South Carolina, North Carolina. Put the southern states there. Please. I did South Carolina, North Carolina. Name some damn southern states, please. Go ahead, y'all. Pop them in there. Capital letters. Virginia. Spell that shit out. Virginia. We got South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. What else we got? Mississippi, Georgia. Yep. Alabama. Come on, let's go. Exactly. Wow, Eddie go. Who made the fucking change? Yep, we said Virginia. That's right, Little Hammer. Yellowhammer. Florida. Yep. Let's keep going. Louisiana, Arkansas, all these southern states. Don't forget the Midwest. Texas. Put them too. Texas. Put all them damn states. Just put them. Just as a thought in your mind. Texas. Come on, let's go. Yep, we got Louisiana. Let's just name them. Tennessee. Yes. Keep going, y'all. This is for a purpose. Kentucky. Yep. I'm going to name some northern states too. New York, New Jersey. I'm going to y'all name the South ones. Southern states in the Midwest. Maryland, Philadelphia. Come on. Maryland. Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, all right. Now, we naming all these damn states. Canada's another country. All right, Kansas City. Now, you know how many Negroes was in these goddamn 50 states? There's no way in the hell that you gonna beat the shit out of niggas. The way we fight and the way we fight today, we have always been good with our hands. Always. And we still are to this day. The men and the women. In all these states. The only way you can successfully win a war is with the Negroes helping your ass. That's why they got to fix history. They keep telling the goddamn lie that a few white guys did all this shit to niggas. Come on. The only way any of those wars was won was because of the niggas. They were our wars. The biggest division of our people is religion. Religion did this shit to us. Religion. Every time I'm really, really wondering about fucking Malcolm X. And I love that brother. Was he a sellout? Because he knew who we were. He knew we were the Aboriginals. Was he a sellout? Because what I'm learning from is that when he went over there to Mecca or whatever, they was trying to say, or they were saying, this is just like hearsay. They were saying that he was too in connection with what's that guy's name? The communist dude. Oh my goodness, what was his name? That was promoting communism. Not Gaddafi. No, the other guy. Oh God, what is his name? Cuba. What is his name? That communist guy in Cuba. What is his name? Yeah, Castro. They were saying that, okay, white people were FBI agents, may I say, was Fidel. They FBI agents was insinuating that he was in connection with Castro and he wanted a communist country. Because after he left, because I mean, look at how the Sunni Muslims live. Their lifestyle is very communist. The women literally have no voice. And they was really angry for him taking a trip over to Africa because they were nervous. They did not want him to come together as a people. So I'm wondering, was he a sellout? And back in those days, they had secret society murderers who were Boule Negroes that were college fraternities. And their job was to off people. I'm learning a whole lot of shit that I did not know about. And this shit is really crazy. these Boule college boys, the Boules, all right, fraternities, these college fraternities have all kinds of secret societies, and they have these um murderous secret societies, these black fraternities, and they were offing. I mean, they're saying Bumpy had a damn judge offed him. I mean, this shit is crazy. Castro's right hand man sold him out. And yeah, I'm like finding all this shit out. And I'm like, wow, this is stuff that has always been at the forefront. But oftentimes, our people did not really pay attention to the news and stuff. Now, some of us, our people did. And I was like, really, like, wow. Some of our people really did, literally. Like my grandfather, my aunts and uncles, they would always get the paper and and read it. The paper, because everything was so manual. And they would race to get that newspaper. They were really into reading the stock markets and shit that was going on. They were aware of faulty and boule politicians. They was reading the newspaper. Now, my aunts and uncles might have been strung out on heroin, but they asses read the newspapers. Them motherfuckers could read in the 70s. My uncles used to always roll up a damn newspaper and it be in their back pocket. That is like the most countryest thing ever. I don't know if anybody had like aunts and uncles or grandfather. They liquor bottle on one pocket, and in the other pocket, they had a rolled up newspaper because they asses could read. So there's a lot of shit that went down. And we did a lot of shit manually. And if I had, because of the lifestyle that we are accustomed to, especially these 2000 babies, oh, it's a wrap for them. None of them can write in cursive. I don't think I think maybe the 1990 babies can. But the 2000 babies, oh honey, they can't read in cursive. But in those days, and Willie even remember this shit when he was little. We was talking about this shit. He was like, babe, we didn't have no GPS. When we drove down south, we had maps in our car that we would read. And I'm like, oh my God. I used to cry because I never understood maps when I was a little girl. I used to cry. I didn't understand latitude. And I told this to Brother Sanchez. I was in tears. I still struggle with the fucking maps. And that's what I'm going to get him to teach me. I tell you, just because you hold degrees don't mean you know everything. But maps, I panicked because I didn't know which way to go. But in little school, I remember I could not understand latitude and longitude. I still don't know what the fuck that is. And I'm going to get a great person that knows about latitudes and longitudes to explain that to me so I can understand it at this age. And Brother Sanchez helps me with a lot. And so did Chief Holiday behind the scenes. I can't read a map. A military person, you will. I know you can. I know you can. Well, some of my military men, y'all got to teach me. And you know what? Here's the funny part. Jan Renee, it's funny that you say that, y'all. I am not shitting you. I'm a fanatic for collecting maps. Y'all, hold on. And I can't even understand latitude and longitude. And somebody gonna teach me that. You're gonna teach me. You're only a master at what you know. And Yana Renee, just because you came in here and said that, I'm about to show you something. Y'all gonna laugh. Hold on. I have an obsession. These are maps. I am not lying. These are maps. Literally. Maps of the world that I purchased. And I'm going to hang them up on my damn wall. Thanks. I'm going to hang these up because I changed my living room around. Which is where I changed into my office. It's my office. And hang my maps up. At work, when I was working in the office, I had maps in my cubicle, big ass maps. And everybody stopped at my desk and they knew they wasn't supposed to. But they said, wow, I've never took an interest to maps until I came to your desk. And I just have an obsession with maps. I love maps. I do. But somebody's going to teach me latitude and longitude. I still don't get it since I was a little girl. And the teacher used to always call me up to the goddamn board to say, point your finger, latitude to longitude. Didn't get it. Just over my head. But that's my obsession, maps. Maps are my obsession. Some real shit. I'm waiting on Empress, but she sent me a document to read to everybody. I don't know if y'all was in. Smash that like button, y'all, please. I don't know if y'all was in her segment last night. Let's see. But I'm gonna read this damn document. Let me find y'all. Cause she's not here. I emailed her the link. But I'm gonna go ahead on and oh boy, everybody's coming. Oh, I'm hearing all those cash apps for the segment. So that's great. We're really doing good. We're gonna be promoting all week. Hey, Crypto Cakes. Hey, Mikey. I'm gonna read a document. I don't know where she is, but oh wow, this is gonna be awesome. Everybody that sent the $10, you're going to get the link. I'm just gonna print out the distribution list, copy it, and paste it. It's easier for me to do it that way. But I really want everybody to come to this debate because we really need to learn about these damn fossilized bones. I'm waiting for Middletown Police Department to get back to me to join and watch that segment. One police officer that specializes in decomposed bodies. And I'm going to ask him some questions. And I'm sure he's going to like listening in. So have your fun, please. We're going to have fun. Let me see. I'm going to pull up this document. I see you guys. And let me see. I'm going to put this back up, because I want people to be able to know where to cash app the money. And these monies are going to be divided and given to these brothers, because it's not easy being in a Zoom with over 300 people and debating, because in Zoom, this shit is real. I mean, on YouTube Live, it's real, but in Zoom, everybody's been in a Zoom before. You have an even closer connection with the content creators. You're literally right there with them. So I like this. I'm gonna like this. But anyway, I'll put this back up in a few. Let's get into that document that Empress Holbert gave. She's probably tired because she did have to work. But I'm gonna start reading, y'all. Here we go. It's this is from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China. Now, the title is the amendment. Fair use. I got it going across the screen. The American Genocide of the Indians. Historical facts and real evidence. Okay. The term genocide, made from the ancient Greek word genos, which is race, nation, or tribe, and the Latin cadere, killing, annihilation. annihilation, was the first coined by Raphael Lemkin, a Polish Jewish legal scholar, in his book 1944, Axis Rule in the Occupied Europe. It originally means the destruction of a nation or an ethnic group. In 1946, United Nations General Assembly affirmed genocide as a crime under international law in Resolution 96, which stated that genocide is a denial of the right of existence of entire human groups as homicide and the denial of the right to live of individual human beings. Such denial of the right of existence shocks the conscience of mankind and is contrary to moral law and the spirit and aims of the United Nations. On December 9th, 1948, the United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution 260A, or the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, which entered into force on January 12, 1951. The resolution noted that at all periods of history, genocide has inflicted great losses on humanity. Article 2 of the convention clearly defines genocide as any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group, such as A, killing members of the group, B, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, and D, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, forcibly transferring children of the groups to another group. The United States ratified the convention in 1988. Genocide is also clearly defined in U.S. domestic law. The United States Code in Section 1091 of Title 18 defines genocide as violent attacks with the specific intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. A definition similar to the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. According to historical records and media reports, since its founding, the United States has systematically deprived Indians of their rights to life and basic political, economic, and cultural rights through killings, displacements, and forced assimilation in an attempt to physically and culturally eradicate this group. Even today, Indians still face a serious existential crisis. Now, just reading that alone, who in the hell do you think this happened to in the 50 states? Right there in that paragraph, in this statement right here, it tells you exactly what happened to the Negro farmers in the South. The only group of people this happened to. There's no other race in the Americas that this happened to. We were the farm owners, the land owners. I'm going to read this again, and you let me know how these incidents are different from the civil wars and any other wars that we had over here. According to historical records and media reports, since its founding, the United States has systematically deprived Indians of their rights to life and basic political, economic, and cultural rights through killings, displacements, and forced assimilation in an attempt to physically and culturally eradicate this group. Even today, Indians still face a serious existential crisis. Do not tell me that my ancestors were not deprived to their rights to life and basic political, economic, jobs, and cultural rights through killings. Do not tell me my ancestors were not displaced and forced assimilation. There's only one group of people in the 50 states that suffered these consequences. It was our ancestors. And because it was our ancestors, you goddamn pan-boo-boo agents, this didn't happen to Africans in America. It happened to the goddamn Indians, my people. You scums. But y'all gonna pay with that Pan-African movement because you failed. According to international law and its domestic law, what the United States did to the Indians covers all the acts that define genocide and indisputably constitutes genocide. The American magazine Foreign Policy commented that the crimes against Native Americans are fully consistent with the definition of genocide under current international law. The profound sin of genocide is a historical stain that the United States can never clear. And the painful tragedy of Indians is a historical lesson that should never be forgotten. Number one, evidence on the United States government's genocide against Indians. Let me take these damn headphones off. On July 4th, 1776, the United States of America was founded with the Declaration of Independence, which openly stated that he, the British king, has excited domestic insurrections amongst us and has devoured to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages and slandered Native Americans as the merciless Indian savage. That's who we are viewed as, savages. And we're still viewed as savages. Look at our hoods. Look at New York City, point blank, Harlem. The United States government and leaders treated Native Americans, dodged a hijack, with a belief in white superiority and supremacy. That shit only refers to us and white people. It was always white superiority and white supremacies over the, hijack the name, over the niggas. The merciless Indian savages. That's who they're referring to us. And slandered Native Americans as the merciless. Set out to annihilate the Indians and attempted to eradicate the race through cultural genocide. During the American War of Independence, 1775 to 1783, the Second War of Independence, 1812 to 1815, and the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, the United States leaders, eager to transform its plantation economy as an adjunct to European colonialism and to expand their territories, coveted the vast Indian lands and launched thousands of attacks on Indian tribes, slaughtering Indian chiefs, soldiers, and even civilians, and taking Indian lands for themselves. This is the part of history that they don't want to talk about. This is truth right here. You want to paint us our African story. You goddamn bamboos will suffer for your actions and your false teachings. God damn you, arrogant Negroes. You will suffer. Your tongues will fall out your goddamn mouth if you don't bow down and listen to your goddamn true history. You scumbags. I'm sick of y'all. May your fucking tongues fall off. If you can't see the shit that happened to your ancestors here, but y'all want to paint a goddamn Kuta Kente story. In 1862, and guess what? We had census sheets, god damn it. In 1862, the United States enacted the Homestead Act, which provided that every American citizen above the age of 21 with a mere registration fee of 10 US dollars could acquire no more than 160 acres of land in the West. Lured by the land, the white people swarmed into the Indian areas and started a massacre that resulted in the death of thousands of Indians. There were fucking census sheets in 1862. Think about it, fool. Leaders of the United States government at that time openly claimed that the skin of Indians could be peeled off to make tall boots, that Indian must be annihilated or driven to places that no one would go, that Indians had to be wiped out swiftly, and that only dead Indians are good Indians. Now bring that to modern day talk. Only a dead nigga is a good nigga. Don't play with me, you stinking pan boo boos. I'm reading your goddamn ancestors' history right now. American soldiers saw the slaughter of Indians as natural, even an honor, and would not rest until they were all killed. Similar hate rhetoric and atrocities abound and are well documented in many Native American extermination monographs. Bloody massacres. Number 2, and atrocities. Since the colonists set foot in North America, they had systematically and extensively hunted American bison, cutting off the source of food and basic livelihood of the Indians and causing their death from starvation in large numbers. Now, let me tell you the story I got from my last aunt that was alive. Why they left South Carolina? Because their food source was cut off and they were hungry when they came here to the North and they had to leave South Carolina. Statistics reveal that since its independence in 1776, the U.S. government has launched over 1,500 attacks on Indian tribes, slaughtering the Indians, taking their lands, and committing countless crimes. All this is in my damn declaration and lawsuit. All of this. In 1814, the U.S. government decreed that it would award $50 to $100 for each Indian skull surrendered. The American historian Frederick Turner acknowledged in the significance of the frontier in American history released in 1893 that each frontier was won by a series of wars against the Indians. The California Gold Rush also brought about the California Massacre. Peter Burnett, the first governor of California, proposed a war of extermination against Native Americans, triggering rising calls for the extermination of Indians in the state. In California in the 1850s and 1860s, an Indian skull or scalp was worth $5, while the average daily wage was 25 cents. From 1846 to 1873, the Indian population in California dropped to 30,000 from 150,000. Countless Indians died as a result of the atrocities. Some of the major massacres include in 1811, we read about this. American troops defeated the famous Indian chief Tecumseh and his army in the Battle of Tippecanoe, burned the Indian capital, Prophetstown, and committed brutal massacres. From November 1813 to January 1814, the United States Army launched the Creek War against the Native Americans, also known as the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. We talked about this, y'all. On March 27, 1814, about 3,000 soldiers attacked the Creek Indians at Horseshoe Bend, Mississippi territory. Over 800 Creek Warriors were slaughtered in the fight, and as a result, the military strength of the Creeks was significantly weakened. Under the Treaty of Fort Jackson, signed on August 9th of the same year, the Creeks ceded more than 23 million acres of land to the United States federal government. On November 29th, 1864, Pastor John Shivington massacred Indians at Sand Creek in southeastern Colorado. Now, wait a minute, y'all. Let's back up here for a minute. A motherfucking pastor, Pastor John Shivington, massacred Indians at Sand Creek in southeastern Colorado due to the opposition of a few Indians to the signing of a land grant agreement. It was one of the most notorious massacres of Native Americans. Maria Montoya, a professor of history at New York University, said in an interview that Chivington soldiers scalped women and children, beheaded them, and paraded them through the streets upon their return to Denver. James Anea, former UN special rep- reporter on the rights of indigenous people, submitted his report after a country visit to the United States in 2012. According to the accounts of the descendants of the victims of Sand Creek Massacre in 1864, around 700 armed U.S. soldiers raided and shot at Cheyenne and Afaro people living on the Sand Creek Indian Reservation in Colorado. Media reports show that the massacre resulted in the deaths of between 70 and 163 among the 200 plus tribal members. 2/3 of the dead were women or children, and no one was held responsible for the massacre. The United States government had reached a compensation agreement with tribal descendants, which has not been delivered even to this day. On December 29th, 1890, near the Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota, U.S. troops fired at the Indians, killing and injuring more than 350 people, according to the United States Congressional Record. Oh, they was keeping track. After the Wounded Knee Massacre, armed Indian resistance was largely suppressed. About 20 U.S. soldiers were awarded the Medal of Honor. Now, listen to me. In 1890, goddamn, we was on the legislature. In 1930, the U.S. Bureau of Indian Affairs began sterilizing Indian women through the Indian Health Service Program. Sterilization was conducted in the name of protecting the health of Indian women, and in some cases, even performed without the woman's knowledge. That's what I'm telling y'all about these goddamn pap smears. Statistics suggest that in early 1970s, more than 42% of Indian women of childbearing age were sterilized. And that's about right. Because when we came from the South, remember, we was having 16 kids. And this government wanted to put a hamper on that shit of our natural birthing. This resulted in the near extinction for many small tribes. By 1976, approximately 70,000 Indian women had been forcibly sterilized. And let me tell you something. Back in the 70s in Nyack prison, this shit is factual. They were sterilizing, aka Indian, aka black women in prison because they were on heroin and they were boosting. That was the big thing back in the 70s to support that heroin addict. The shit is disgusting. In its early days, the United States regarded Indian tribes as sovereign entities and dealt with them on land, trade, justice, and other issues largely through negotiated treaties and occasionally through war. By 1840, the United States had concluded more than 200 treaties with various tribes, most of which were unequal treaties that were reached under U.S. military and political pressure and through deception and coercion, and were binding on the Indian tribes only. The treaties were used as a primary tool to take advantage of Indian tribes. In 1830, the United States passed the Indian Removal Act, which marked the institutionalization of forced relocation of Indians in the country. The act legally deprived Indian tribes of the right to live in the eastern United States, forcing some 100,000 Indians to move to the west of Mississippi River from their ancestral lands in the South. Now you goddamn tell me who lived in the South with the 1800 census sheet. Give me some goddamn fire if this is not speaking to you. There is an 1800 census sheet with mom, dad, head of household, mom and kids, 16 kids. Don't tell me because I got one. And the South. Give me the fire. Put some goddamn respect on who the Indian is. There's an 1800 census sheet. I got one. My nana's on it. She was 2 years old in 1800. She was born in 1878. My third generation grandmother. Y'all gonna put some goddamn respect on genealogy right now. On them census sheets, they was not listed as slaves in 1800. She's a little baby. Dad was a farmer. It said occupation, farmer, 1800. Don't play with me. And I told y'all, 1829, my family fled from the South to Connecticut, from South Carolina to Connecticut. My grandmother was born. I'm telling you, don't play with me. They left the South in 1929. They couldn't take it no more. The migration began in the summer heat and continued through the winter with sub-zero temperatures. Trudging 16 miles each day, thousands died along the way. This is some bullshit. The way as a result of hunger, cold, exhaustion, or disease and plague. The Indian population was decimated. Bullshit. We still here. Don't you even play with me. The Indian population was decimated, and the forced migration became a trail of blood and tears. Tribes that refused to move were left to military suppression, forcible eviction, and even massacre by the U.S. government. This is an 1830, y'all. Let that sit in your head. I don't got time for these stupid ass pan boo boos. So you telling me, you stupid ass pan boo boos, these Indians who had census sheets that lived on their lands, that's in 1820. This happened in 1830. You're telling me those head of households were fucking Africans? Get your stinking ass daishiki asses out of here. In 1839, before Texas joined the United States, the government demanded that Indians remove immediately or face the entire destruction of their possessions and the extermination of their tribe. Large numbers of Cherokees who refused to comply were shot and killed. That's in Texas. In 1863, listen, who the fuck do you think was on the legislation? Let me stop here for a minute. Hang on. Hang on, y'all. We in 1863. Let me stop this for a minute. Hang on just for a minute. Hang on. 1868. Texas delegates in Mississippi. This is in 1860. Look who's on the motherfucking legislation. Look at this shit. This is 1868. Making the laws. Making the laws, y'all. Let's go. This is where I say, stop calling this a goddamn white man's story. This is where I draw the fucking line. Stop saying that this is only a white man's massacre of our people. And you see clearly who's on the goddamn legislation making the laws of the government. The goddamn government can't declare war unless Congress declares it. Who the fuck's on Congress? Who's on Congress? (1863). Who's on Congress? The United States military. 1863. God damn it. The United States military carried out a scorched earth policy to forcibly remove the Navajo tribe, burning houses and crops, slaughtering livestock, and vandalizing properties. Under the Army's watch, who got control of the Army? Congress or just the only president? Can't declare war unless Congress pass it. Who's sitting on the motherfucking legislation? Right, Loveday. Under the Army's watch, Navajo had to walk several hundred kilometers to a reservation in eastern New Mexico. Pregnant women and seniors who fell behind were shot on the spot. In the mid-19th century, nearly all American Indians were driven to the west of the Mississippi River and forced by the United States government to live in Native American reservations. When did you think we started moving in the goddamn hoods? Don't play with me. As was written in the Cambridge Economic History of the United States, as a result of the United States governments, who was on the goddamn government? Forcible expulsion of the last Indians in the East. Only a very small number of Indians, listen to this, who were individual citizens of the nation, or those individual Indians who went into hiding during the forceful expulsion remained in the region. Individual Indians. You are a citizen. If you're a citizen of the United States, you're an individual Indian. Sadly, this is what Chinese people are saying. Sadly, to whitewash this part of history, U.S. historians often glorify the westward expansion as the American people's pursuit of economic development in the Western frontier, claiming that it accelerated the improvement of American democracy, boosted economic prosperity, and contributed to the formation and development of the American national spirit. They make no mention of the brutal massacre of Native Americans. In fact, it was after the westward expansion that the budding civilization of the Americas was destroyed, and the Indians, as one of the several major human races, faced complete extinction by your new race identity. 4. Forced assimilation and cultural extinction. Again, forced assimilation and cultural extinction. You be now a Christian, a Muslim. In the 1900s, Moors, Jehovah's Witnesses, Islam. To defend the unjust deeds of the United States government, some American scholars in the 19th century trumpeted the dichotomy of civilization versus barbarism and portrayed Native American as a savage, evil, and inferior group. Francis Parkman, a famous 19th century American historian, even claimed that the American Indian will not learn the arts of civilization, and he and his forest must perish together. I'm going to tell you, the American Indian will not learn the arts of civilization, and he and his forest must perish together. Niggas, that's why you got your Bumpy Johnsons. That's why you got your drug dealers today. Because the American Indian will not learn the arts of civilization. What are the arts of civilization? Indoctrination in school, the arts of it. George Bancroft, Parkman's contemporary and other well-known American historian, also claimed that compared with the white people, Native Americans were inferior in reason and moral qualities, adding that nor is his inferiority simply attached to the individual. It is connected with organization and is the characteristic of the one race. Such an attempt to justify colonial plundering by demeaning Indians is nothing but racially discriminative. We hate ourselves. Our ancestors, I have to say, the ones that were in power, they agreed to come in this corporation under false identities. They no longer wanted to identify as the Indian. In the 1870s and 80s, the United States government adopted a more aggressive policy of forced assimilation, the social fabric and culture of Indian tribes. The core objective of the strategy was to destroy the original group affiliation as well as the ethnic and tribal identity of the Indians and transform them into individual Americans with American citizenship, civic consciousness, and identification with mainstream American values. 4 measures were taken to this end. Let me read that again so it can fucking sink in. You stupid Pamboobos, you stupid Moors, you stupid Islam nation of all these religious groups. They got y'all asses. Y'all went found other ways of lives to practice rather than the original one. Too ashamed. You allowed this to happen. In the 1870s and 1880s, the United States government, and again, who the fuck do you think was on the goddamn Congress? I just showed you 1863. 1868. All right. I can't listen. I'm going to show you again. 1868 to 1900 Congress. 1868. 1868. 1868. All right? All right. So we got this 1868 to 1900. Listen, hang on, y'all. Hang on. Let's go. Remember them dates of us on the panel. Let's go. Let's go. I'm not going to play with these goddamn fools. I ain't got time to play with African people playing around. Again, let's go. 1868. This is, listen. In the 1870s and 1880s, the United States government adopted a more aggressive policy of forced assimilation to obliterate the social fabric and culture of Indian tribes. Now you listen here, people. The core objective of the strategy was to destroy the original group affiliation as well as the ethnic and tribal identity of the Indians and transform them into individual Americans with American citizenship, civil consciousness, and identification with mainstream American values. Let's go. First, fully depriving Indian tribes of their right to self-govern. American Indians had to live in tribal units over the years, and tribes had been their source of strength and spiritual support. The United States government forcibly abolished the tribal system and cast individual Indians into a white society with completely different traditions. Unable to find a job or make a living just like today, goddammit, the Indians became economically destitute, politically deprived, and socially discriminated against to this fucking day. They experienced great mental pain and deep existential and cultural crisis. In the 19th century, the thriving Cherokee Indian tribes enjoyed a material life almost comparable to that of frontier whites. Nevertheless, with their right to self-govern and their tribal system gradually abolished by the U.S. government, the Cherokee community quickly declined and became the poorest group among the indigenous people. Second, trying to destroy the Indian reservations through land distribution and ultimately disintegrate their tribes. The Dawes Act, passed in 1887, authorized the United States president to dissolve Indian reservations, abolish the tribal land ownership in the original reservations, and allocate land directly to Indians living and outside, inside and outside the reservations, forming a de facto land privatization system. The abolition of tribal land ownership disintegrated the American Indian communities and seriously undermined tribal authority. As the highest form of tribal unity, the traditional ritual Sundance was regarded as heresy and thus banned. Most of the land in the original reservations was transferred to the white people through auction. The Indians, who were less prepared for farming, lost their newly acquired land as a result of swindling, among other reasons, and their lives deteriorated by the day. Third, taking steps to fully impose American citizenship on the Indians. Third, taking steps to fully impose American citizenship on the Indians. Native Americans who were identified as mixed race had to give up their tribal status, and others were detribalized, which greatly damaged the Indian identity. Fourth, eradicating the Indian sense of community and tribal identity by adopting measures of education, language, culture, and religion, and a series of social policies, beginning with the Civilization Fund Act of 1890. The United States established funded boarding schools across the country and forced Indian children to attend, because in those days they sent the truant officer out to get your ass. Oh, y'all seen the little rascals? According to a report by the National Native American Boarding School Healing Coalition, there have been altogether 367 boarding schools throughout the United States. By 1925, 60,889 Indian children had been forced to attend boarding schools. In 1926, 83% of Indian children were enrolled. The total number of students enrolled still remains unclear to this day. Yep, they are in them goddamn public schools, guided by the idea of kill the Indian, save the man. The United States banned Indian children from speaking their native language, wearing their traditional clothes, or carrying out traditional activities, thus erasing their language, culture, and identity in an act of cultural genocide. Indian children suffered immensely at school. Yep. And some died from starvation, disease, and abuse. This was followed by a policy of forced foster care. Children were forcibly placed in the care of whites, which was a continuation of the assimilation policy and denial of cultural identity. Denial of cultural identity. I told y'all, and I read this to you. Remember, I read that to y'all about that little black girl where they had adopted her. Remember the other day, a couple of weeks ago, she had all this land, but she was a little girl, so white people had to adopt her. These practices were not banned until 1978 when Indian Child Welfare Act was passed. In passing the act, Indian Child Welfare, y'all better listen. It was acknowledged in Congress that a large number of Indian children had been removed to non-Indian families and institutions without permission, resulting in the breakup of Indian families. That's a fact. A renowned historian said, with the force of assimilation, one of the most despicable things in American history reached its peak. This was perhaps the most unfortunate chapter for Indians. American Indians remain in serious survival and development crisis. The United States government genocide of Indians has led to a perpetuous drop in the population of Indian communities, deteriorating of their living conditions, lack of social security, low economic status, threats to their safety, and plummeted political influence. See, when you're reading information written from other countries, this is China, they see us as the Indian. They're talking about us. They're discussing our history. They see us as the Indian. We just don't, with our dumb asses. Sharp decline of population. Before the arrival of white settlers in 1492, there were 5 million Indians, yet by 1800, the number plummeted to 600,000. Bullshit. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the number of Native Americans in 1900 was only 237,000. Get the fuck out of here. The lowest in history. Among them, more than a dozen tribes, such as the Pequot, Mohegan, and Massachusetts. Yeah, you're counting the white people looking. Fuck out of here. Because all the poor Indians are in poverty and living so far away from the reservation, but they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians, and all of the Indians are laughing. And I tell you why. Why are they helping the poor community so far away from the reservation? Girl, don't get me started. Between 1800 and 1900, the American Indians lost more than half their population, and their proportion in the U.S. population dropped from 10.15% to 0.31%. Throughout the 19th century, while the U.S. population grew 20 to 30% every 10 years, the Indian population experienced a precipitous decline. Currently, the Indian and Alaskan Native population accounts for only 1.3% of total U.S. bye. Deteriorating living conditions. Who the hell do you think live in deteriorating living conditions? Indians were pushed from the east to the barren west, and most of the Indian reservations were located in remote areas unfit for agriculture, much less for investment in industrial development. That would be the hoods. Can't plant no agriculture out there. Ain't no trees in Harlem. Most of the tribes with scattered reservations of varying sizes were unable to obtain adequate land for development and were therefore subject to severe development restraints. The U.S. government also systematically used Indian reservations as toxic or nuclear waste dumps through the means of deception and coercion, subjecting them to long-term exposure to uranium and other radioactive material. As a result, the cancer incidence and fatality rates in the communities concerned is significantly higher than in other parts of the country. Indian communities have effectively become the garbage cans in the development process of the United States. Look at your damn landfills. Man, I'm done with reading this shit because it's not doing nothing but pissing me off and clearly speaks about me and your ancestors. But I thought that was a super great read. Here is that article in the chat. There it is. Read it. This is why I don't have time with all the pan boo boo shit. I ain't got time for all the pan boo boo shit. I want to talk about real shit. Them little disseminating motherfuckers. I ain't got time for them. It clearly speak. Give me some fire if this does not clearly speak about what happened to the goddamn Negroes. Fire, please. I don't have time. I don't. It's pointless. Facts. So I'm serious. For what? And you know what? I ain't hitting nobody fucking Cash App in no goddamn Pan African and Indian debate. I ain't hitting nobody Cash App. That's enough of my history right there. I don't need to watch no Pan African debate. Fuck all of them. And I ain't hitting nobody Cash App. Not to watch no bullshit debate. I've been watching them idiots for years now. I'm done. I got out my real history. They want to argue about the African dookie water. Let them go ahead. Let them argue about the African dookie water. I don't have nothing to do with that. Lex is a fucking idiot. He's probably an agent. He's stupid as hell. I ain't never seen nobody so goddamn intelligent until they're stupid as fucking hell. Rob born dumb, but all of them gonna get what they deserve. They're gonna get exactly what needs. And I can't wait to listen. Every time I say this, it comes out. They're going to get exactly what the fuck they deserve for lying, keeping up a goddamn lie about my ancestors' history. And I'm tired. I'm waiting on the freedom of information from the state of Connecticut regarding this goddamn stupid ass African American History Month shit that went down. And I went in. I'm sorry. I said, excuse me, at what point is this going to stop? You're telling a little slave story. Don't you think this is injustice to white people? For real. Serious. I'm tired of it. You seen who the fuck was on legislation in 1868 when war was declared. The only way war is declared is by the president, and Congress has to agree by 1/3 votes from the House and the Senate. So you know who the fuck made the vote. So your own people sent the motherfuckers on your land to remove your ass. The Boule Negroes, the fraternities. Y'all better wake up. Stop blaming all this shit on white people. Get the fuck out of here. I went back and looked and showed you who was on Congress during the time of the massacre. The time. Come on now. 1860. 1868, right? Laws being passed. Our ancestors on the fucking legislation. 1870, a law is passed to declare war. Who made the vote? And do you know after this shit was over, the motherfuckers were still sitting on Congress? I'm tired. You think I'm ashamed? I mean, they didn't teach this in the school, of course. I get it. But I don't want to hear about no lessons in school, about no wee-wees and coochies. I'd rather hear about this and let it be an elective. Stop telling a lie about my fucking history. And you're not teaching my grandkids that. You're not going to teach my grandkids a lie about my history. Fine, it starts in the home. I'm going to teach them the truth. But when that little Negro Indian raised his hand and say, "You're a lying ass teacher," you just might as well pick up the phone and call up Big Mama, because I'm Nana. And that's what they're going to be instructed to tell you. When little Pookie and Ray Ray say, you telling a damn lie. Oh, I read it too, Empress. You're not going to teach Pookie and Ray Ray that, my grandsons, because they're going to raise their hand in school and say, "You telling a damn lie." And when they tell little Pookie and Ray Ray tell your ass that, they're going to tell you, "Up, call Madea," because they call me Madea. Call Madea. And they're going to have their little cell phones. Because my grandson's not Madea. You need to come to the school, and I'm coming. And bitch, I'm coming with the Indian flag on your ass. Yeah, Empress, let me put the link in the chat. I emailed it to you, and I waited, asked the audience. I told them, Empress sent me this damn, quite a few of the members said that they saw on your panel piece last night. And I said, "Oh yeah, I read it too. I just finished reading the whole thing." There's the link, darling. I was wondering where you was. I figured maybe you was tired because I know you was working. Michael. There's the link, darling. You hop up anytime you get ready. Anybody that want to come on the panel, you're welcome to come on up here. Hey, lady. I said,
Hey,
I don't know where Empress is. We waited too. You see at the beginning of the show.
yeah. I had went with my daughter to get us something because today my daughter's birthday and stuff. And I didn't
Right.
hear my phone. I didn't hear my phone do anything. So I said, well, maybe Sister Betty went to sleep.
No, I was live and I sent the email to Empress. She's gonna hop on. Let's give her a minute. You'll hear it in a minute with her eyes at the beginning of the show. And I let them know you sent that to me. And I said, I'm gonna incorporate the case law that I have with this document, and it just lined up perfectly.
Mhm.
It's a damn shame, girl.
Yep. It blew your
Damn
mind when you
shame.
read through it, didn't it?
Yes. And it lined up with the legislators. Our people was on legislation in those days, and they
Yep.
declared war. That's I was telling them, the only way you could declare war in those days, and even up to the excluding days. The president could declare war, but Congress has to pass it by a 1/3 vote and a 2/3 vote House and Senate. And
What
that's
I think they was doing, I don't even think they was planning to. They had their own little militias doing all this fuck shit. That's what I think they had going on. It
yeah, well,
wasn't
they
the
did,
army.
but it couldn't happen because it was saying that the government, and that's true, the government's passed during those times.
Yeah.
The government did that. It said it in there. The government did it. And then when you look, I showed them who was on government in those same years. The
Mm-mm.
dumbs, all they asses. Terrible. And this is what I say. We hate each other as a people. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to hate each other as a people. That's why I said we ain't never gonna come together as a
Mm-mm.
people. I don't ever see it happening.
I don't either.
That's why I tell people, look, go with who you vibe with. I'm not forcing nobody to reassimilate. I'm
Me,
good with my group. Get yours. I
exactly.
we hate each other, and it's facts. We'll never come together. And you got these Robborns and these Lexes keep because of the shit they keep doing with this African DJ shit.
Yes. It's a spell.
Yeah, terrible,
It's definitely a spell.
terrible.
While I'm eating, not just me and my daughter
Hey,
just
that is, brother. What you eating? I had salad and
I
meatless spaghetti. It was so good.
need some smoked chicken, pull apart,
Mm. Oh, that
baked beans,
sounds so good. Oh, I
collard.
love. I bought some baked beans yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Michael, right? I bought some baked beans because I love baked beans. The little cans now they got the little
Mm-hmm.
small ones. They got the little small ones, so I could just open them up and throw them in the
Yeah.
microwave and eat them just like that.
Yeah, I
No
love
meat,
it.
no nothing. Yeah.
Rob Knox didn't show up in the chat today.
Huh?
Rob Knox didn't have no opinions on what took place.
I didn't even see his ass in the chat, and he's not blocked.
Yeah.
He's probably over there with Chief Holiday because Chief Holiday's live right now.
When I came
And
on, the first person I seen that was live. Yeah.
oh, yeah, I think Chief Holiday and them still live over there. They might be. Let me see. Yep, they still live over there. Um,
Yeah.
I don't got time to be talking about no African shit because I don't care. I'm promoting this debate with him and Sanchez. It's gonna be in Zoom.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Okay. I
I
thought
hope
they
you come. It's
everybody.
gonna be, huh?
I thought they were doing it online for everybody.
Oh no, it's gonna be because it's uncut. See, they get censored for shit,
Yeah.
and a lot of the stuff that Brother Sanchez share, they just strike his channel for dumb shit, and then he got to end up cutting and editing, and now he could freely speak because it's gonna be in Zoom. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
telling anybody, it's gonna be this Friday. This Friday coming. Where is it? The little thing I had up. If you want to go, I'm gonna be up in there because I'm moderating it.
Yeah.
It's between him and Chief Holiday this Friday. Send your $10. I'm not getting any other money. It's splitting between the two because it's gonna be uncut. Them two been going at it for a couple of years now, and
Yeah.
now it's finally coming to a head. But it's going to be professionally held, and I'll be on his channel Monday Madness promoting it,
Mm-hmm.
and I want everybody to come. Send your $10 and leave your email. I put it up, and a lot of people are coming, so I'm glad. I'm really happy. The Zoom holds 5,000 people, so
Right.
oh yeah. So I'm gonna send this to him, and he's probably gonna put this overlay up, and the audience is gonna be able to vote and finally say, all right, who won, the GOAT or Sanchez? Come on. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not just going to be this topic. It's going to be more stuff that they're in denial on, too.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be pretty cool. I do. Because Sanchez has a large supporting audience, and she probably has a good audience, too. So I think it's going to be interesting. So get your $10 in, and you'll be in that room.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody that wants to come, I know you will. I know you will, Lotus.
Promise you. Yeah. I had to jump in because I promised you I would come and do it with you, but my daughter wound up talking about mom. Let's
Yeah,
go.
no.
So
Yeah,
I was.
you home now, or you
Yeah.
just celebrating with your daughter?
Me and her eating, but she don't want to take change her clothes, so she won't get in on her clothes. So yeah,
Is
that's
that
what.
you, girl, in your picture right there?
Which one?
Your avatar you got right now.
Me. That's me.
Oh, that's
No,
you. I thought
yeah.
all this time I was thinking that was your baby girl.
That's, yeah. I take some pictures of my daughter on my community wall today. For her birthday.
Oh, I
So
want to go look at it. I didn't see. I'm
mhm.
gonna go look. And you just got the one, just like me, huh?
Yes, just that one.
Oh, girl,
Yes.
who wants more? Oh my goodness.
Did.
Oh, gosh, she's so pretty.
Thank you. I
Oh
did, but it didn't happen. So
Oh
we
my goodness,
can.
she do look like you, Hobart. Oh my
She does
God.
keep over me, but she really looks like her father. She does. She really does.
I'm sorry. She looked like you. Oh
Everybody said
hell no.
they see her
She look
dad.
she looked like you. She's so pretty. Look at her. She looked like you.
She does favor me, but I tell everybody she looks like her dad.
Mama looked like you. Little cute little self. She's so cute. Oh, she's so pretty. She is so pretty.
She a
Yeah.
mean. Them Pisces is crazy too.
Yeah, but the Pisces is my peep. Come on now. We have fun. Pisces always get me in trouble. Make me late for work because
Oh
I go
Lord.
out Sunday night with Pisces and can't get up in the morning. I be done call say I'm on my way. I'm late.
I never really even cared for like going out and clubbing. I always been more of a homebody or just around like my friends' houses, but like clubbing, I never really been into that scene.
I I wasn't a drinker, but I was the designated driver. All my
That's
girlfriends would get drink and start fights in the club, but I was the
see,
designated driver. But I liked to go. I like to go to the club because I like to dance. I love to dance.
that's me.
I love to dance. And I stayed on the floor with salt and pepper. Shake your thing. You couldn't get me off the floor. I was gone. I was gone.
I just love to
Dance.
dance. A good time. Like we used to have a lot of house parties here in
No, my
Nashville.
soulmates is cancer. Black Jack. My soulmates. My husband's cancer and Big Willie's. My daughter, father, cancer. Cancer is my
Okay.
soulmate. Yep. But Pisces, women, April, Lisa, all of them were Pisces. And that's who I rode with. Those are my road dogs.
Today is my sister's birthday as well as my daughter's. And she said
Your
she ain't
sister
doing.
and your daughter on the same day?
Yeah,
Wow.
sister. We literally a year and 10 days apart. Me and my older sister.
Wow. Now, me and my sister, she's like just about 2 years older than me. I only got the one sister, but the 12 boys. I'm the oldest.
Okay.
All the rest of they little badasses. Yeah, we endure steps.
Yeah.
Yep.
All three of my mama girls is a year apart.
They so pretty, all of y'all.
Thank you.
Yep. You still got your mom, right?
Yeah, yeah. I still
She's
got my.
short. Is she short?
She's 5'2".
Ah, she's the same height as me. 5'2". I'm 5'2", straight.
My daughter 5'2". My
5'2".
whose birthday today, she's 5 feet.
5 feet. Oh, she's short.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm 5'2", and my sister's 5'3", and my mother used to be 5'3". She 5'2" now.
Yeah, because what they do when the older they get, they start to shrink. So
Yep.
yeah,
I need to
yeah.
go check. I probably shrunk already. Someone please call 911. 511. The alleged is 5'1".
5. So
You
I,
how tall? 5'5"?
I'm, yeah.
That's
My
a
dad,
perfect height.
my daddy was 6'5". So, but
Damn. That's like Willie and his brother, 6'5" and stuff.
my daddy was tall.
5'4", 5'5". That was a perfect height.
Yeah.
Jeans look so good on women when they 5'5" and 5'4". That's that perfect height.
Perfect height for a woman. 5'5" is.
Yep. I put heels on and that boosts me up to like 5'4", 5'5". I do. It helps. I used to wear
My,
boots.
my baby sister, and she's 5'7". Yeah,
That's
she's 5.
perfect height.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn. Well, I'm about to get my butt out of here.
That article, that document that you read, and they understood
Yeah, I
everything.
think the audience understood, y'all. Thank Empress Holbert for that article, y'all. Throw up some fire. We needed that.
I
We
mean,
needed that.
everything we ever talked about was in that article.
Hmm.
Verified it.
Everything we. So that means that the Asians over in China, because that's where that is, was on
Mm-hmm.
the same stance as we are, and they telling the story how they know it.
Either they telling the story because they know we the landlords, or
Yep.
it's something in it for them to want to drop that.
Yep.
That's what like. Why all of a sudden now you want to tell the story? You want to give the actual facts and historical facts at that. You got
Mm,
everything that took place. Everything.
yep. They know.
It's definitely something in it for them, though.
Yep.
So,
They're our number one trader, China. Trading that we do trading business with. China.
mm-hmm.
China is number one. And they're number one trading with Africa too.
Yeah, they were.
I looked that up.
They all over in Africa. They
Yep.
all over here.
That's why them Africans are able to rent out their little nasty little stores next door to their little Chinese restaurants to do here.
I keep telling people it's not about our skin color. It is really about who we are. They
Yeah.
know who we are.
Yes. They look at us as the original landlords, and they do.
Mhm.
But a lot of them felt bad. Them Asians felt bad for us. Seriously. Even in
Some,
the wars, the Nam War, they would leave notes on trees to the American Negro. This is not your war. Go home.
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, because they was lied to, and they joined these the army and stuff under the impression that we was going to be attacked, and it wasn't our war. We wind up in the middle of something that we shouldn't have never been in.
Facts. Well, that's why Muhammad Ali and was saying
Mhm.
that they're not going to fight in that war. It wasn't their war. And
Exactly.
the Didi said that China is not under the same government. That's why they released it. And it's interesting because this was written
And last year, the third, the second, I think
yep,
it was the second of
yep,
2020,
March
22.
2nd. Yep, March 2nd of 2022. That's why they released it. Because
Yes.
they telling the truth. Truth is
Yep.
there. So these pan boo boos want to continue to have these debates. Let them go ahead. I ain't watching none of them fucking debates. I don't want to hear it. I ain't watching it. For what? I got my history. Y'all want to argue and fight about a history that ain't fucking yours? Go right ahead. I just read about my history today. You want to debunk something? Debunk that.
And they came to bunk that.
I'm not watching nobody do no fucking debate with no damn Pan Africans. No, I'm not giving them now one. I got too much tribe work to be watching them idiots.
On some
They
dumb
just
shit.
got some money. You hit the Cash App, you stupid as fuck. Learn about some real shit.
Exactly. That part, like this document. And I tell everybody, share the document. Share it. Everybody needs to
Please
see.
share it. Share it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start live streaming to my Facebook page
Hmm.
because I can live stream to Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, I used to do that. But if you late, you got to be on time with Facebook, because if you late, you have to stop. They'll stop it. They won't even let you go live.
Ah,
So you have to
thanks
be
for
on time.
telling me that.
Yep. That's one reason why I quit going live. Plus, they had put me at the bottom of the algorithm because I used to be able to argue with them goddamn natives. So I said, "Fuck you." But I built up I hit the 1,000 mark early this morning on TikTok.
Oh, get
So now
out.
I can go live on TikTok.
All right. How long do TikTok let you stay on live? Will it let you do a whole segment?
I've seen people be all night long, all the way to the next evening.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought they only gave you a little bit of time.
Got up and they still live. I'm like, "Is y'all gonna go to bed?"
Oh, that's right. Oh no, that was another one. The other girl used to go live. She used to be so funny. Even though Michi X is Pan African, I still like her. She funny as hell.
She'll probably see. I like me.
I like Michi. She funny as hell. She
She
funny.
give that
Hi,
nigga
Abdullah.
she give that nigga run for his money. He know it.
Hmm. She is hilarious. I like her. She funny. She's so pretty. She funny. Hello,
Mhm.
Abdullah Idris L.
Halito,
Salam,
everybody.
salam alaikum, good sisters. How's it going? Extra.
Mhm.
Hi, how are you? What can we do for you?
I just wanted to hop on the panel to say peace and blessings to you all. You guys are doing a very good job into bringing the American history and the real stories out there to the people. I really appreciate that from you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gratitude. Gratitude. We want everybody to share that because everybody needs to be able to print it out and share it with your family. Share it with everybody.
Yep. You should share it with your family.
They want to make it like we're crazy. We don't know what we're talking about. Well, guess what? China just proved everything we ever been over here researching and learning was the truth. And China told it.
That's right. And it's not that we need them to substantiate our claims. It's just a fact. They're writing the truth. Because you can't debunk what happened to us. You can't debunk it. Everything that they noted in there happened to us.
Thanks.
These funny looking Indians they got, that's not the same. No. That was some made up shits.
Did you hear what they said in them? Well, they said they was a political social group. They ain't even. I was like, y'all ain't a nation. Y'all literally a political group.
Political social group. Yep.
Yes. And all that hating they be doing, y'all are considered a political social group.
That's all they are.
Yep.
Facts. Yep. But I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna get my rest because I gotta hit that floor at 4. And I'm a morning person though. I love it. I get a lot of work done. A lot of work done from like 6 a.m. to like 10. I get so much work done because it's peaceful.
Ain't nobody there about you gonna get what you need to do and get it done.
Get it done.
I had to be up at 6:30 to work, so
yeah.
I have a masterful rest of the night. Thank you all. Thank you, Sister Betty.
Thank you too. And I'm gonna see you next Sunday. And this time we're gonna wake up.
Okay. I promise I'll be up too. And anytime I come across some more stuff, I'll send it to you.
Okay, bet. And likewise here. Same here.
Okay.
Peace
and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love, Abdullah. Peace to the chat, y'all. Thanks for joining me. Smash the like button. And I hope you see the debate.
I'll try to get here earlier.
I hope you see the debate with Sanchez and Chief Holiday this Friday in Zoom. You heard about that? Abdullah, right here.
No, I haven't.
Leave this up. Yeah. It's going to be a debate with Brother Sanchez and Chief Holiday this Friday. And it's going to be in Zoom. And if you want to go, just Cash App $10 and you're going to get a link to come in Zoom Friday at 6. And they're going to have an uncut debate where they can't be censored by YouTube. So far, we got quite a few people that's coming. So it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to leave from here. I'm tired. I love y'all. Smash the like button. And I'll see y'all soon. Know that we are the American Indians. Copper color Indians, baby.